Alright, this is my attempt at a Mario Maker Brawl level. The idea is there are distinct rooms that you're forced into via the auto-scroller, and you kind of have to fight each other, and basically last man standing wins. I think the general idea is pretty good. Some of the implementation is maybe a little iffy, and since there's really no way to test a versus level, without like having friends with the game, I haven't, really tested it. So, obviously I had to clear it to upload it, but it's a completely different experience in multiplayer versus. And the idea is, when each room's cleared, you move on to the next room, and you should be able to go back from the start to the end, or to where everyone is fairly quickly. But again, that's kind of in theory. I haven't really been able to test it. But yeah, here we go. So the first room just kind of explains, what's going on. There's no threat here, but the idea is once that bomb goes down, then we move into the next room. So here, this room is just kind of, the idea is you're supposed to trigger the thwomps to hit everybody else while dodging them. And if you die, the auto-scroller forces you back into this room, so you can't just stay in an earlier room. This room's pretty short. This room, I hope, works. The Yoshis, I hope everybody can get a Yoshi. If not, this might be a little weird. And I don't know if you can lick people off the back of a Yoshi, but the idea is you suck them up and you spit them into the spikes. This room may be a total dud. I'm trying to prevent you from licking the bomb. There's really nothing preventing you from doing it in the next room, I guess. I should be more worried. But I figure people will be more worried about staying alive. So this room, you're just supposed to shoot shells at everybody. I kept the left side's open there, so shells have a place to go. You can get a helmet, to try to just prevent some damage, because it's really hard to get into the next room without it. But obviously I can break the helmet so it doesn't immediately appear, and then we jump into the pipe. We get a check mark. And that's the spikes to prevent Yoshi. So this room I think will actually be pretty fun. This is the longest room. The idea is, you're jumping. We've got low gravity, and you jump on the different platforms, and hopefully with trickery can knock people off their platform into their death. And then you'll see there's a track at the bottom that will allow some platforms that will go there. That should make it easier to get through this room. If this room's already cleared, and the fast scroller's growing, it would be really hard without it. But again, can't really test it, so hopefully it works as expected. This next room is probably just bad, but there's that safe zone, so you could just wait it out here, and you could push people out, or you can just get the stars, maybe fight over the stars. There's probably too many cannonballs. It doesn't look like it's lagging, but it's not actually lagging. The balls are just that slow because of the night beam. Or maybe they're just that slow. And then having to jump over that, you're probably going to get smushed. That room's probably not good. This room is kind of similar to the last one. I probably should have just done this room and not the other one. But the idea is you're going to be fighting over this little spot underneath the cloud. You probably don't still have your helmet at this point. Because obviously you can just do that. But the idea is you're fighting over the cloud, and everyone's probably dying. But it's probably pretty hard to run back to this room, so the idea may not work very well. This last room too, the scroller is at its slowest, but it's probably a little too fast. I wish, when I envisioned this, it was really slow. And I mostly just wanted to upload this video to kind of get the idea out there, even though the execution maybe wasn't great. I still think the idea was really good. So it drops you here, and then the best is, if you're trying to jump in here, you're gonna see there's actually every other spring. You may not, you can't see that, but the idea is, if you're all fighting, trying to get the goal, you actually have a chance to catch up, and, if you're trying to find, the gap to get the score. And yeah, so that's the kind of the idea of the distinct Mario Maker Brawl levels, and like I said, I'm not sure it's gonna super work out, and didn't really be able to play test it in a multiplayer scenario, but But yeah, hopefully someone else can take some inspiration from this and we can see some cool multiplayer levels. All right, thanks.